set roughly 329 years after Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei is proving to be the most anticipated game of 2025, and with a strong backbone of its predecessor is already being coined for Game of the Year. The question is still begging to be answered: will Ghost of Yotei live up to Ghost of Tsushima? Obviously, as of now, 1 month away from release, at least as of recording this video, we don't know much about the game story-wise. What we do know is that the game follows Atsu. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. A wandering mercenary. Over the course of the story, Atsu seeks revenge on the Yotei 6, who we would be smart to assume are the main antagonists of the game, who 16 years prior slaughtered Atsu's family, burnt her home to the ground and left Atsu for dead, pinned on a tree by her dead father's katana. Reflective of Ghost of Tsushima's narrative following Jin Sakai, whose whole clan was slaughtered right in front of him. Left as the sole survivor, we follow Jin as he seeks revenge against the Mongol army whom not only wiped out his entire clan, destroyed his entire village. So, how will Ghost of Yotei hold up to Ghost of Tsushima? Both games will prove to be very similar, with Yotei including everything from Tsushima, making it feel familiar, but including extensive new features, breathing a breath of fresh air onto the franchise. New features I'm talking about, such as dual-wield katanas, shown in the trailer, which is something Tsushima lacked, but really wouldn't have made sense to add in due to Jin being trained as a single swordsman. A wolf companion, which will essentially, I guess, serve as an ally during combat, but also you're supposedly able to strengthen your bond with said wolf by doing certain side quest activities, whatever that entails. New dynamic weather changes such as snow and snow blizzards and auras in the sky. Ghost of Yotei is going to add to the already incredible dynamic weather that Tsushima featured. Tsushima used its allure and beautiful world to draw you in, making exploring the world so fun and unique, having the wind guide you to the next mission and everything along the way. Ghost of Yotei needs to expand on this in every way possible. Being in the environment it's in opens up so much diversity in what content they put around the map, and with the potential to have some of the best exploration we've seen in a game, it's not an understatement to say I've got very high hopes. Ghost of Yotei will feature less of a linear story compared to Tsushima, having the freedom to choose which order you take out your targets, with Tsushima forcing you to take out each target in a certain order, which in my opinion makes sense to the flow of Tsushima's story, but having the choice in Yotei again breathes a breath of fresh air onto the game and takes the series further. Ghost of Yotei offers significantly greater player freedom, with deeper exploration contributing to that, with new clues for missions being discovered by interrogating enemies and also interacting with NPCs, opening up and leading you to new areas based on your choices. Ghost of Tsushima, without a doubt, had plenty of flaws. The rushed feeling of the later half of the story, game feeling copy and pasted, and the repetitive nature of the combat. Ghost of Yotei needs to not make the same mistakes its predecessor made. Yotei completely changes how the combat system functions. Rather than a stance type system, Ghost of Yotei prioritizes a weapons-based approach, giving the player the choice between which weapon they choose to take out different enemies, including but not limited to bows and guns, which I'm honestly very, very intrigued to see how that plays out in combat. Tsushima always made me feel wanting more with its side characters for the most part, always feeling underdeveloped. Very few imposing characters and story arcs to me that just felt silly. Something that Yotei certainly needs to not make the same mistake in. Even Jin, the same protagonist at times, felt quite shallow. Atsu needs to have strong motives that make sense, but especially make sense to a human level in a relatable way. Overall, I think Ghost of Yotei will surpass Ghost of Tsushima in every way it can, and I think it will for sure improve all of Tsushima's flaws. Ghost of Yotei is only enabled to be as great of a game as it's going to be due to the strong foundation that was laid with Ghost of Tsushima. But the main takeaway I get out of everything I've managed to read on Ghost of Yotei is that the main emphasis is on freedom. Freedom in how you take on the story, freedom in which weapon you choose. Ghost of Tsushima's main flaw was its lack of freedom. Ghost of Yotei gives you complete freedom, and it's exactly why I have so much faith in this game exceeding expectations. thanks guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I wanted to put something out to tide the time over while I'm working on this Horizon video I'm working on, and what else better to talk about than probably the most anticipated game of this year. I don't know what else could be said to be that. Only definitely a short video. There's not really too much. I didn't want to harp on about a game that's not even out yet, and although a lot of it's come from the developers and such, it's still speculation. We won't know what's in the game or how the game's going to be until we play the game on, I think, the 2nd of October. So, look, I'm very excited for Ghost of Yotei, and I assume that's why a lot of you guys are watching this video. So hopefully, once the game comes out, I play it, I will make a video on it. I guess maybe since I'm supposed to following this up, I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day, night, whatever's going on, and I will see you guys in the next video.